Good morning, and thank you for tuning in. Roseward, stampersdelight.com. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. Today I have Don't Bother Me, I'm stamping. So true. Don't bother us when we're stamping. So if you like that mug or other stamping apparel, you can go to the stampersdelightshop.com and check out the stamping apparel and mugs that we have available. Couple of reminders. I do have my paper share for the new annual catalog going on. Hi, Roz. So all the links will be below when I'm done with the live video, okay? The other event that I have going on is my monthly online class, and that is with the beautiful gallery suite, which I am showcasing today. Again, all the links will be below. Also, Stampin' Up! Has given us a sales challenge, and if I meet the challenge, I can get this I love this tote, this pink tote. But since I have so many totes already, I've decided to give that away to one lucky winner. And all you have to do is place an order with me this month, and your name will go in the drawing. Also, what I have going on this month is a mystery box. So let me just flip the camera. So when you place an order with me this month, not only will you get a ticket into the drawing for the tote, I will send you a mystery box or bag of equal product, retail value when it was new. These items can be new, gently used for the product that you buy from me this month. So you're getting a mystery box. Okay, that does end April 30th, so get those orders in. If you have any questions, just send me a message or email me. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, give me a thumbs up, and also leave me a comment. Okay, so let's get started here. I needed some more coffee. So the beautiful gallery suite has two beautiful sets, and I showcased this at Onstage in Raleigh. And it also has dies that go with it. Lots of dies. This is my favorite, right there. And for this one, the sentiments, here you have the flowers. This one is the sentiments, and then you have these flowers also. Also with that suite, you have this beautiful paper. Hi, Linda. Hi, Joan. Now, I have, I think, two sets here. It's double-sided, 6x6. This will be also in the paper share. If you want to see all of them, you can go to page 55 if you got your catalogs, or you can go back and watch my new product unveiling. And then we have the gems, which this pack happened to get all over the place. That was from Onstage. So we have the pressed flowers. Put those over there. Hopefully I don't lose them. We have this beautiful Demitask embossing folder. And then we have the basic beige ribbon. So that is the suite. So I'm going to show you a couple of cards first. I know I usually do it the other way, but these I already have put on Facebook. These are the ones that I did at Onstage. And you can see, just by using that beautiful paper and adding a sentiment, you have some beautiful cards. This is the frame, which I will show you shortly. It's so much fun decorating with this one. And then this was the fun fold that I did at Onstage. Now I do have a PDF for this. The PDF that will be in my newsletter today will be a different fun fold, the one I'm going to show you. But if you'd like this downloadable PDF, just email me. That was my fun fold. Okay, so those are the cards that I did at Onstage. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Dawn. Oh, Dawn, our newest member to the team. Don't forget, if you join my team this month and you qualify for the sales challenge, you will also get that tote. Okay, I need another sip of coffee this morning. All right, so for today's fun fold, I'm going to bring in some Mossy Meadow. Now I will have some other samples of this in different colors to show you. I'm going to take this piece of Mossy Meadow. Good morning, Lori. I'm going to cut that down to 4.5 by 5.5. So that's our base. Okay. There's our base. I'm then, excuse me, I'm then going to bring in a piece of crumb cake because I don't have 12 by 12 basic beige. Let me bring this down just a little bit so you can see everything. So I am going to take this piece of crumb cake and I'm going to cut that down to 5.25. And swing that arm out. And I'm leaving it at 12 inches. I'm then going to go in at 4 inches and score that. Slide it over to the 8 inches and score that. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and I am going to give that a good burnishing. Just like that. So I'm going to start with this inside piece. I'm going to bring in this flower. I'm using the new Secret Sea. That's one of the new colors coming out next month in May. And somewhere I have a piece of blotter paper here. Let me grab that. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Corinne. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to stamp that right there. I'm going to grab the next sentiment that says, "You've been on my mind." I'm using larger blocks because my blocks are all being used for my retreat. I'm then going to bring this piece in. And I'm thinking I might hold off. Maybe I'll hold off on gluing that down. Let's just hold off on that. Okay, I am going to bring in a piece of, another piece of the green. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Good morning, Janice. Hi, Maureen. How are you? I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to bring in that die that I like so much. This is great for framing and also for scrapbooking. I did have a scrapbook page that I did, and that you can go back and see. That was for my mother-in-law's 100th birthday. But I've already framed that and given it to her. When you're 100, you don't wait. Okay, she'll be 100 in September. I'm going to go ahead and roll that through. Now remember, sign up for my newsletter and you will get my weekly free PDF download. You'll also see what specials I have going on or what's new with Stampin' Up. I'm going to move that out of the way before I get my hand in it. So when you do this frame, you get these 3 pieces. So you get a larger frame. Whoop. Hi, Kathleen. You get the smaller frame. I need 2 of the larger ones, so I'm going to go ahead again and cut this out. This suite, the thing I like about this suite is you don't need to add a lot to it if you don't want to. As you saw on the other cards, you can add the flowers or you can just leave it with the designer series paper. And it makes great cards. So if you're a new stamper, just use that designer series paper and you can make a great card. If you're an avid stamper, you can add all those other dies. Okay, we're going to put this over here for a minute. I need I'll save those for another project. Hi, Pat. I'm going to pull this out. And this one I don't need. Okay, so let's move that back. Now I have these two frames, and I want to emboss those. So I'm going to bring in that embossing folder. And a little trick, you can actually emboss both of them at the same time. They don't have to be the same, exactly the same. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to lay them in my embossing folder. So I only have to do this once. I'm going to bring in the number 4 plate. Yes, it was so great to see you in Raleigh. I really enjoyed it. And I'm just going to roll that through. Had a great time. There we go. Yes, I know. It's amazing. Janice said she's going to be 100 years old. We're planning her party. At 100, you definitely deserve a party, right? Okay, so now I have these embossed pieces. I'm going to bring in some of that designer series paper. And I do have other ones to show you, but for this one, I am going to cut this down to 3 3/4. But I want to keep some of these flowers. So I'm looking at the way I'm cutting it. I think I want this side. I'm going to go with 3 3/4 over here. I can save that for another project or for my envelope. And then I need this at 5 1/4 to start. So I'm going to just start with 5 1/4, cut that off. Bring in my frame first so I can see how I want to frame that. Okay, that's perfect. But I'm just going to add, just take off 3 3/4. I'm just going to take off like a 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Bringing in that frame again. I want to make sure that it fits. And if it, again, I'm just going to take off like a 1/16 of an inch here. Or you can trim it with your scissors. Hi, Gail. Oh, thank you, Gail. I really appreciate it. I might save that little, whatever it says. I'm not sure. Not in English, so I don't understand it. But okay, so now I have these two pieces. I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals to this. Now, I want this to really pop up. So for this, I'm actually using my, you can use regular dimensionals, but I'm going to grab my dimensional strips. And on the back side of the frame, I'm going to add that, cut those off. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Don't forget about your dimensional strips. They are perfect for sentiments too. I use these all the time. And we'll add that right there. Okay, I'm then going to take my Take Your Pick tool, pull that off. Another staple in the stamping business or world is your Take Your Pick tool. And I want that this way or this way. Which way do I want it? I want it this way. I am going to lay that right on top. My hands are a little shaky. And then I'm going to bring this one in. Take Your Pick tool. In Raleigh, I did this with the Take Your Pick tool and the dimensionals, and the staff in the back loved it. They said, oh, we learned something new. They didn't realize you could do that. And I am going to lay that on top of there. Now, if you have a little edge that you don't like, you can always take your paper snips and just cut that off so you don't see it. There we go. There's my 2 frames. I'm going to then bring in this base again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that right on the top. Now, it just fits perfectly. Look at that. So for this, I'm going to take I'm going to use my liquid glue for this, just because it's got that little cushion there. Now, I am using my liquid glue, my green glue, but I use my glue press. It really helps my arthritis in my hands by doing it this way. I'm going to layer that right there. I guess the flowers could go either way. I'm going to open that up, and this one is going to go right inside here. Don't forget about Donna Gray and I have the basic foundations of stamping going on. That's an exclusive Facebook group, but if you're not on Facebook, we send you out the tutorials. And we are getting into the nuts and bolts of stamping, so you still have time to sign up for that. And again, the links will be below. I see Maureen on here. Maureen has joined. If you're in the US, you go through me, you sign up through me. If you're in Australia, you sign up through Donna. If you are not in any one of those 2 countries, you can sign up with either one of us globally. We do let you in the group. You just don't get monthly products, and we give you monthly products for what we're going to be showcasing or showing you, teaching you. Donna does 2 projects, I do 2 projects, and at the end of the month we do a Zoom craft along. Okay, so there is my card. Let me bring in that green piece. This was a little off-centered, but that's okay. And I'm going to open that up. I'm going to fold that. I got shaky hands this morning. And there I have a great Trifold card. Look at that. So now let's decorate it. I'm going to bring in that basic beige, and I want to add a little bit more color to it. So I am going to stamp just a note in the Secret C. I don't think I have any smaller. Usually I like to use smaller pieces, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to add just a note right here. I could use my paper trimmer, but it's so small, such a small sentiment. I think I can cut that pretty straight. Thank you. Thank you, Gail. Gail likes the layout. I appreciate that. We'll bring this piece in, and I'm going to lay that flat. So I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal. I'm going to add that right to the corner here. Thank you, Corinne. And just have a little bit of that blue showing. Now, because this is puffed up with the dimensional and this isn't, I have to do the opposite. So this is going this way. I need to put a dimensional here and a little glue here so that they're the same height. So I have that in there. And then when you open it up, I'm going to take the Thinking of You. Hi, Jennifer. I am going to add Thinking of You. This is the tutorial or the downloadable PDF you will get today. You still have time to sign up for my newsletter since I won't send that out till later today. We're just going to hand cut that. If you case my cards, which I hope you do, tag me so I can see what you've done with it. You are all welcome to case my cards. That's the biggest compliment I could get. Just a little bit there. And the same thing with this one. Now this one I'm going to put here. So I do need a dimensional on this side. We'll add that one right there. So there's your trifold card. Now we're going to take a piece of that basic beige. Just going to tie a bow. Need my ribbon scissors for that. Remember, the dimensions and everything will be on my newsletter later. And I'm going to add that right there. I want it just a little bit smaller, so now I can play with it, get it the size I want. I think I'm actually going to put it right here. So for this, you can use glue dots, but I actually use my Stampin' Seal. Add that right there. And then I'm just going to trim off that little bit so it's not hanging over the card. Oh, my scissors are caught here. What is that on there? Now it's on my finger. There we go. Thank you, Angie. Now I'm going to bring in those gems. And again, mine are all over the place. Don't judge me. Okay, I am going to take a couple of those gems here, using the putty side, and add those wherever I want them. Take one of the smaller ones. I always like to put one by the sentiment. It brings your eye to the sentiment. We're going to open that up. I'm going to add a few more. You know I like my gems. And there we have a beautiful card. Easy fun fold. Let's grab an envelope. I do have a basic beige one here, so I'm going to use that. Bring in my, I should have used this earlier, but you know me. I stamp by the seat of my pants. I'm going to bring in that blotter paper. Ooh, that didn't come out too good, but I don't think anybody will notice when they open up the card. Now I have this piece left over, and I can use either side. I'm going to use that side, and I'm going to glue that down. The chat is not showing? Really? Nobody else can see the chat? I apologize. I'm not sure why. But the program that I used probably had an update. Does anybody else not see the chat? I can see the chat. And there I have a beautiful card with a matching envelope to send off. Oh, Laura, you can see the chat. Great. So that's one of the cards. That's the card we just did. And the dimensions on the next cards are the same. This one, I used the house. And you can see how this just frames that beautiful paper. And of course I used our white. I can't say enough about this paper. I just love it. And then this one, because this reminds me of my husband's grandfather's house, and that's what I used on my scrapbook page. And you can see I embossed, was it this one? I embossed the inside of that. I wanted to get a little more embossing, but it really doesn't show up, so I didn't do that. This one says, hello, thank you for everything, and then of course I can write my own note. So I hope you enjoyed the fun fold. Let's just do a quick and easy card. How about that? So I'm going to bring in another new color, which is the cloud cover. Now the ink won't be available yet for that. There was a little problem with it, and Stampin' Up! Is working on it. No worries. I'm going to cut that down for my base. This is my card on the fly. Wasn't even planning on doing one. I'm going to score that. Oh, you're very welcome, Linda. I'm going to bring in another piece of that Designer Series paper. Let's figure out which one I want to use. As soon as I find it, because it's buried. There it is. Let's bring that in. Oh, I like this one. But I also, there's another one that I like. So you can see all the different papers. Not sure which one I want to use. Maybe I need a masculine card. Let's go with that one. I'm going to bring in the new Secret C. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. Hi, Molly. We're doing a card on the fly right now. Let's bring in that die. I'm going to cut one of these out. Whoop, something just fell over there. We're going to pop this out. And take that large frame, switch my plates. Bring in the embossing folder when I find it. It got buried. Where are you? Everything gets buried over here. Just give me a minute. There it is. Again, I'm going to emboss that. Yes, they are, Janice. Thank you. She said the card, beautiful cards and paper. The paper is beautiful, and thank you for liking my cards. All right, let's move this out of the way. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I am going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. I want this image right here, so I'm going to start with this side and just cut that off. Flip it around and go at 4 inches. Because I wanted this image, I'm going to go in at 5 1/4. So this actually will fit right on top of here. The frame is narrower. I'm going to lay that down right there. And then I'm going to use this as my focal point. So I am just going to do that. You can do it straight, and you can see that it brings your eye to the middle, even though there's pieces on the side. But I'm going to do it a little bit at an angle, just a slight angle. So again, I'm going to bring in my dimensional strips. Thank you, Elizabeth. These products will be available May 6th to customers. If you join Stampin' Up! This month and my team, you can actually get these products in your starter kit. So contact me and I will tell you how to do that. I'm just going to start at the top and just angle that just a little bit, making sure it doesn't go over too far because you want it to fit in your envelope. There we go. So you can see that this is not straight, but it shows that beautiful paper on either side. I'm going to bring in a piece of, well, let's see. Okay, so I have a frame here. I'm actually going to, do I want to cheat and use that? No, I want to use that frame for something else. So, oh, here, we'll use this piece. I'm going to take that inside piece, and I'm going to use the Thinking of You. I didn't want to cut another piece. I'm going to trim that off. And again, I'm going to add a dimensional to the one side. I'll show the cards again at the end. And you can also see those on my newsletter, my blog, and Facebook when we're done. And a little glue here. We'll put that one up there. And bring in those gems, which are all over the place, but they're usable. It's going to be on your next order. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I'm going to add 2 large ones. And a small one. Now for this one, oh, let me put all these back. I can use them. I'm not going to put a bow on this because that scene right there, I can use this as a masculine card. Open it up. Grab a piece of that basic beige. Cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. Now again, I don't want to use a flower because I'm going to use this as a masculine card. So I'm going to bring in this stamp right here. Let me switch my sentiments. I'm going to bring in the Secret C. So I ink that up with the Secret C. I'm going to grab this blotter paper. I'm going to stamp it off like 3 times. I want it very, very light. I'm going to bring that in. So it's a very light color. Thinking of You. And then I'm going to grab, where's my other one? Full Strength. I'm going to add just a note right over top of that. And this could be for a birthday card. And then I'm just going to layer that inside. Just a note to let somebody know you're thinking of them. And there you have a great card. This is great for a beginner stamper because you don't even have to emboss that if you didn't want to. I hope you enjoyed my card on the fly. Let's bring in the other cards again. So this is the fun fold for today. Just showing you the other ones. This would look nice in black and the basic beige, but I really like that secret sea. It's kind of in between black and night of navy. And then we have this one. And then from Onstage, this was my fun fold there. Again, this will be the fun fold downloadable PDF today. If you need this one, just email me. Thank you, Roz. I really appreciate this one. I wanted to mention that it's designer series paper. I just cut out that vase. Thank you, Georgia. This was because it was on the board, so it's got those little stickies on it. There's another one. There's another one. And this one I want to mention that one die doesn't cut the whole piece out. It just gives it a little embossed bit there. That one die that's in the suite. And then this was a quick and simple one for beginner stamper. Lots of things you can do with that suite. It's absolutely gorgeous. So think about putting that on your order in May. Don't forget about my giveaway with the tote. By placing orders with me, if I get the sales challenge, I will send that to one lucky winner. Don't forget my mystery box / bag, depending on how I ship it to you, is going on now. And the way that works is you place an order with me this month. Whatever the total is before shipping and tax, I will send you a mystery box with the same value of retired products when they were new. I have bundles, I have stamp sets, I have dies, I have embossing folders, ribbon, embellishments, what else? Punches. So it's mystery box time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to share my videos, sign up for any of my classes, and have a great weekend.